I'm gonna check if I have audio really quick before we really go on into this review. Make it a long one because this is gonna be a long review. Okay, I got audio perfection. So, Undertale Yellow. My experience with Undertale Yellow. Oh boy, this is going to be a long video. This video people have been waiting for a very long time. Whoa, what the heck happened to my stream? Did it mess up? I don't know why it messed up, but it looked like it messed up on my screen anyway. So, I wanted to talk about this game for quite a while because I felt like this game, people have long awaited for me to make a review about, slash my experience about, slash everything about for a very long time. And I kind of want to start from the very beginning before we get into the game. So, Undertale Yellow. I remember, I think it was about 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, 10 months ago now at this time slash review. I decided after my Undertale genocide route that I kind of wanted more. Like, more, I wanted more Undertale content. And obviously, at this time, other than like Deltarune, all you had was like Undertale fan games. That's all you had for like, you know, if you want to scratch that Undertale itch, you know. And after that Geno route, you know, sorry, my nose is just bothering me right now. After, you know, you do the Geno route, the final route of Undertale, at least for a lot of people, because they do genocide last, or some people just don't do it at all, you know, I wanted to find something that could rival Undertale, because Undertale left me with such a whoa feeling. Other than Deltarune, you know, like Undertale and Deltarune, like those, obviously, I wanted another, like an Undertale, like, experience like that, but like obviously, like that's not Deltarune, because I love Deltarune too, like a lot. You should see like a lot of my secret boss reviews or my review of Deltarune chapters 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4, dude. You should see my reviews on all those. But anyways, I digress, right? So I wanted to play something that would, you know, again, revive that spark. Or not revive, but more like continue that spark. And I remember I said, you know what, like just one day, I just randomly said one day that I want to dedicate a lot of my time to playing Undertale fan games. And, you know, I was wondering for quite a while, this was like off camera, I think, for a bit, I was wondering which Undertale fan game should I dive into first. And a big part of that ended up being Undertale Yellow, because Undertale Yellow was the Undertale fan game that people were always saying you have to play. This team put in 8 years of their lives into this project. You have to play. The music, the battles, everything feels so one-to-one with Undertale, and also have its own unique flair all at the same time. You have to play. And keep in mind, right, when I, you know, heard all the things about Undertale Yellow, I was seeing so many reviews about Undertale Yellow because I was also doing research into it before I started playing, just to see, like, how people thought about the game. Like, many months even before I started doing, like, Undertale slash Deltarune, like, fan gameplays and fan playthroughs. Me and Luke played the entire thing like 2 sittings. In like 2 sittings, it was low-key peak. Got you. Sat there for, dang, 2 sittings? Holy shit. Y'all, like, destroyed the game. I didn't do it in 2 sittings. It took me a lot longer to do. But anyways, right? So, by the way, that's what's up, Colton. But, back to what I was saying, right? I remember just, like, seeing how many people loved the game, seeing how many people just wanted, not just me to play, because no one asked if I wanted to play, because keep in mind, right, like, I just finished the Geno route, I think, or I just was doing Deltarune, I just wanted something on the side, you know, to also keep me entertained and stuff in the Undertale universe, so I said, you know what? After everybody's talking so much good stuff about it, I want to see for myself. And I remember I got into Undertale Yellow. I think, yeah, like I mentioned, it was like months ago. Here, let me go ahead and pull up the video real quick so I can get it like a specific date for us in our, little video we got here. Yeah, it was, yeah, not even 8 months ago. It was 4 months ago I decided to do this. So it's still pretty new, still pretty recent, right? And I remember I just woke up, I think also at 3 a.m., and I said in the morning, and my dad was already at work at this time, and I said, you know what? I'm going to play it. I'm going to play Undertale Yellow for the very first time. And I remember, like, I don't know if I had a controller on me or anything, or doing this with mobile controller or something, probably with Bluetooth. But I remember I really enjoyed, like, my very first session of Undertale Yellow. I remember I loved it to death. And keep in mind, right, another thing that I really love about Undertale Yellow, other than its soundtrack and stuff, also all of its character sprite animations and everything, I just want to say, like, get all this stuff out of the way in my review of Undertale Yellow. I just want to say, shout outs to the Team Yellow for getting, like, everything about Undertale, like, nearly correct. Like, the feeling of the game, because there's a lot of Undertale fan games that just don't get that Undertale feeling quite right. But I feel like Undertale Yellow is like one of the closest Undertale fan games I've ever played that gets the Undertale vibe correct. That like completely like gets the vibe, the sprites, the animations, the graphics, everything just feels completely like nearly identical or maybe slightly better than the original Undertale, man. It's like, holy shit. Like, I remember just going into it, like, just so amazed at everything. And don't even get me started with the soundtrack. I'm not, we'll get to a certain theme when we get there. But, like, every soundtrack in this game is so good in so many different ways. And obviously, I know I haven't played the Geno route of Yellow or the neutral route of Yellow because I don't feel like doing that right now. But, just the music for what I've experienced was so good. Sometimes I remember just wanting to just sit there in like Undertale Yellow's version of Snowden for like hours upon hours upon hours on end, just listening to its music, the remixed music of Snowden, or the desert area. Don't even get me started with the desert area in Undertale Yellow. That area is fucking goated. But don't even get me started with like the mines and shit. And there were so many cool locations too in Undertale Yellow that I just gotta give a shout out to. Man, like it was great. But I remember after my first session, I played for a second time. I played Undertale Yellow for a second time, just kind of continuing where I last left off. And I remember, like, struggling on Marlette a fucking billion times. Yes, your boy struggled on Marlette more than, like, 5 minutes. I know a lot of people were like, dude, you beat Sans Undertale. How the fuck are you struggling on Marlette, bro? Keep in mind, right, Undertale Yellow, when I played, I don't think I played like, I mean, obviously I played with a controller, right? But obviously, since I'm not like super experienced, usually like my first time with any video game, like it doesn't matter how much skills like I gained, like over the years, with whatever game I'm playing. I always like it always feels like I restart back at like default like skill level or back to being below average whenever I like restart something or play something new that's similar to what I've already played, unless like, for example, like it's like, I don't know, Super Mario Brothers, like the original or something. Now obviously remember what the fuck's up there, but and other games to follow because you're doing the same thing just in new locations and shit. Anyways, you get it. So I was just like low-key just going in on just Marlette, continuing the game, loving the game, like loving it so much to the point I just could not stop playing it, right? I could not stop playing Undertale Yellow. It was just so fucking fun. And then I think, yeah, in my second part, I remember I got hooked immediately on one of my absolute favorite songs. I think it's like my favorite song in the entire game when I made it to like the desert area after like passing up the ruins, obviously, which was a short area. And also you get introduced to like this, what is it, prince character, like this male prince. By the way, Lexi, what's up? talking about Undertale Yellow like we're in a review type of way, sort of old school review where like, you know, I just talk about the thing, you know, not necessarily spoil everything by showing it on screen or some shit. Anyways, right? So absolutely yapping. Well, yeah, about the game in question. That's what you clicked on here for. Anyways, you do meet a prince in the ruins, like this Marceline looking, sort of Marceline, like long lost brother looking prince. I can't remember his name actually, because like I remember Saraboda and then Marlette and Starlo and maybe some of his members of his gang, but I don't remember like a lot of characters. Okay, like I can't. I just look. Don't get on me too much. Okay, like God. Okay. Anyways, so back to what I was saying. I got introduced to one of the greatest themes of all time, and I have the Feisty Five. Yeah, isn't Yellow the one with the Feisty Five? Yeah, the Feisty Five, Starlo's gang, or should I say like his other name? But anyways, we'll get to that. But anyways, I wanted to kind of like emphasize this theme, dude. This theme, I remember listening to this one time. I made it to like the desert area in Undertale Yellow for the very first time, and when I heard this theme, hold on, bro, let me just. Bro, my brain exploded. I heard vigorous terrain one time. I shit you not. And I know a lot of people are probably going to be like, Alan, are you serious? This is your favorite theme in the entirety of Undertale Yellow? Like, in its entirety? Yes. By far, bar none. I heard this theme. I never wanted to leave the desert. I am not going to lie to you. You can put this theme on repeat for so long, and I'm still fucking sitting there vibing. It was love at first sight. I have to talk about this in my review for a long time, bro. Because I swear to God, y'all don't understand. It was like on the same level for me as when I first played like Super Mario RPG for the very first time. Like it was love at first sight. You know when you get those crushes, like you see this chick, you really like her, and it's like love at first sight or some shit. That's how it felt for me when I listened to this theme for the very first time. It was love at first sight. I loved vigorous terrain from Undertale Yellow so much that like I don't think I said like any theme in the game beats it in my opinion. And just my opinion, of course. It's not like guaranteed fact, but in my opinion. Unless, you know, if I ever come back to the game and play the neutral route and we hear the neutral route music and maybe something better, that I doubt it, but just saying. I even heard the Genocide version of Vigorous Terrain, and that's a far cry compared to its original version, bro. I'm just gonna say that right now. Bro. But low-key, other than like this theme being extremely good, hold on, Colts, and I'll read your comment here in a second. Other than that theme being extremely good, like 10 out of 10 good. I just could not stop listening, dude. I would just sit there, and I have no idea if it's like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but Undertale Yellow somehow managed to bring like this feeling out for me with this one theme alone, and I can't explain it. It just did so much shit for me, dude. Like it just like it, dude. I can't explain it, bro. Like I don't know if it's like because like you know I was like you know I was born in Texas, and you guys know Texans are basically cowboys up in that bitch, and I don't know if it's because like you know it's because of that. Like I got like the cowboy gene in me, but something triggered in me like that fucking gene coming right the fuck out. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, because that theme is fucking... Oh, that theme is so good, dude. Every time I listen to it, I almost want to just listen to the entire piece like over and over again. Just say LiveReview. Funny enough, just earlier, I was listening to the theme like fucking crazy, and every time I listen to it, it hits the right notes. I swear, it just hits the right notes at the right times, and it's like, ugh. Okay, anyways, I need to stop talking about the theme, because otherwise this whole review is just going to be about that one theme, because god damn, whoever composed the music for like Undertale Yellow, dude, I hope you get into like Deltarune's future chapters. I hope you get like so much shit coming your way, man, because you did a phenomenal job. Not just on Vigorous Terrain, but I mean like the entirety of Undertale Yellow's soundtrack. But anyways, so as we were kind of continuing going, I remember this was like my first ever pit stop when I played Undertale Yellow. So I made 3 original Undertale Yellow videos. And this is why I say it took so long for me to beat Undertale Yellow, because of how many times like I stopped, how many times I quit, how many times all this other sort of stuff happens. But this is the first time I quit something, okay? And keep in mind, right, I made part 3, I can't remember exactly what time it was, but it was obviously like 4 or 5 months ago, and I was going through the game, having a good time, fighting the cactus enemies, hating the snake enemies for some reason. I just really hated the snake enemies. Enjoying my time hearing Vigorous Terrain throughout everything, and you're probably wondering, why the fuck did you quit? Let me show you. So obviously, we're going to turn the camera on. This is going to be the first bit of footage that I show y'all. But there is a Deltarune hack that's better than everything else. Delta Traveler, it's better than the first Undertale and Deltarune Chapters 1 and 2 and Undertale Yellow combined. I don't mean UTE is bad, though. Delta Traveler, it's better than the first Undertale. I've played Delta Traveler already, and I can tell you, it's good, but I don't know if it's beating Undertale Yellow or some shit. I'm going to be honest. But anyways, let's get right into this. So, this area of the game, this is the first area, right? So, obviously, I did, like, the baby puzzle of this, but I remember, right? Now, keep in mind, I'm not, like, the most goated player of all time when it comes to doing, like, puzzles and all this other sort of shit. But I remember the main reason I quit for the very first time on Undertale Yellow was this puzzle right here with the mine carts, right? Now, keep in mind, right? I keep mentioning this because I need to keep reminding people that I hate puzzles. I don't enjoy puzzles. Puzzles to me are not enjoyable. They just aren't, okay? They just aren't for a lot of it where I have to use my brain. You know, like there was so much stuff that Undertale Yellow just kind of I just don't like doing them, all right? Like for a lot of video games, I don't like doing them. Like for me, when I play a video game, sorry, I had a long ass pause there. My brain just straight flatlined for a second. But every single time I use my brain, I kind of want to like play a game to enjoy it, and like puzzles are kind of like this thing. You know how like roadblocks, that's kind of how it felt, right? Like not only just that puzzle, but like just puzzles in general feel like a roadblock for me in gaming, right? Because obviously if I'm playing a platformer, I don't want to play a platformer and deal with the fucking puzzle. I want to jump around in the room. If I'm wanting to play an RPG, I want to fight monsters, hear badass music, and fucking move on with the story. That's what I want to do, right? So puzzles just kind of get in the way. And obviously, I know puzzles are a big thing in Undertale outside of the normal combat and stuff. It's just puzzles, and then you continue what you're doing. That's obviously what Undertale is, right? And obviously with that puzzle, after that, like, last time, that third Undertale Yellow video I made, I literally did not, I have a whole review on it, you can check it out, I think I did a review on DS, and I did a review on the Nintendo Switch version. You can go check those videos out if you want to know, like, my opinion. They're in my experience playlist, which is a big fat fucking playlist of like 600 fucking vids, so you're just gonna have to scroll a lot. Anyway, so after that, like, that puzzle messed me up way back in the day 4 months ago so badly. Oh, and also keep in mind, in my Undertale / Deltarune fan games playlist, I leave links to every single game I play, so that way you guys all have access to them. And also, most of the fan games that I have played in here have mobile versions, web browser ports, and all that stuff. So go to this playlist if you want to have some Undertale fan game fun goodness. Anyways, so after that third Undertale Yellow video that I made, like I said, I literally ditched like Undertale Yellow for like the longest time. As you can see, months upon months were going by, video after video after video after video after video after video, where I was just not even bothering with, like, see, I even came back to Traveler before I came back to Undertale Yellow, because like that, obviously I know, like, I had a freak out too with Delta Traveler, which I made a whole review on Delta Traveler too if you want to check that one out. But oh, this was one of the best Sans fights of all time. Sorry, but anyway, so as you can see, so many freaking videos where I was just not even worried about Undertale Yellow, not even thinking about coming back. I was just living my life, enjoying my time, playing some freaking Undertale fan games. And obviously, within this time, there was maybe a couple times where I thought about like actually coming back, because I remember I was getting a little nostalgic. So about 4 weeks ago, I remember I came back to Undertale Yellow because I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and download the game again. I'm going to try and play, and I'm going to see if I can reach the amount of progress that I made it to like before this. Or actually, I think I had a video on Undertale Yellow before that point. Let me see. Because I remember in the third video, I didn't make it to the bird, I don't think, in the third video. But the fourth video, I think I did, like, everything before the bird. I just got to the bird, right? And I remember, I don't know if I deleted the stream. I can't really necessarily remember all that well. For some reason, I just can't remember. But yeah, I was like, okay, so we made it to Bird Dude. Or we did everything up to that point from my third video. And then we made it to this dude, which I'm going to show you guys real quick. El and Babador, right? So this was another things that I really did not like. And by the way, this is another port of Undertale Yellow, funny enough. I did not like this dude. So his whole fighting style, right, was basically you play a rhythm game to win his fight. And if you don't, like, hit, like, the green, blue, red tiles at the time that he wants you to obviously do them, right, you take damage, right? Now, since I was playing on this version, this Undertale Yellow port, I did not have access to, like, an easier mode or something. I didn't have access to, like, making the rhythm section there easier. Like, all I had access to was just, you play the game or you fucking don't, right? And keep in mind, right, I'm doing Pacifist. I'm doing a Pacifist run with Undertale Yellow, because this is another thing that I love about Undertale Yellow compared to other Undertale fan games, is you can choose whatever route you want to do right out the gate. From the beginning of the game, if you don't want to kill any monsters, if you want to do a real true Pacifist run from the beginning, you can do that. If you want to do a Pacifist gone neutral run, you can do that. If you want to do all genocide, you can do that. Or if you do a bit of genocide, then avoid it going into, you know, dark neutral route, or, you know, more fucked up neutral route, you can do that. You can do that in this game right out the gate. Obviously, you got to start up a new save and stuff, but that's something I really love about Undertale Yellow compared to regular Undertale, because regular Undertale, you were locked in the neutral route for your first ever playthrough, and you had to go back to do things with Papyrus, like making friends with Undyne and all that other sort of requirements in order to get the real ending of Undertale, which required you to do at least 2 playthroughs, or at least 1 full playthrough. And then if you, like, made sure in that neutral route you friended, like, Papyrus, you friended Undyne, you also, like, you know, got with Alphys and shit, you figured all that dating stuff out, that goofy shit, then you can do, like, more of, like, the true ending and stuff like that. But anyways, back to what I was saying, right? That's another thing that I wanted to kind of talk about Undertale Yellow for. Like, I love how you can do all the routes no matter what. And again, back to on topic, right? In this Undertale Yellow mobile port that I played, you can't make it easier for yourself. There's not a whole lot of areas where you can gear up, which kind of pissed me off, because I went through, like, the entire game, like, barely having any gear other than, like, the last time I got gear was like the Steamworks with the like a steel buckle or whatever the fuck, right? That was my last item. And I remember seeing this bird dude on this version of Undertale Yellow. I quit the game again. This was the second time I quit, like, live on stream. Like, I was just done with Undertale Yellow. Because keep in mind, I'm not good with rhythm shit. I'm horrible at rhythm-based games. And I know Deltarune also had a rhythm-based minigame in there. But at least, like, with Deltarune, whenever they did it, I don't know. It was more manageable over there in comparison to Undertale Yellow's attempt at doing so. And I just felt, and I know it's kind of a weird slash, I don't know if it's really fair comparison because, you know, Undertale Yellow did it first, and, you know, obviously their first attempt on that isn't going to be the best, but I don't know, just to me, like, I had a problem with it, right? And I had such a problem with it that I just did not come back, like, 4 weeks ago. I just said, screw Undertale Yellow again. And I think I even quit before this moment, like, with the bird. I think I also tried it again on the mobile port and then, like, quit at Marlette. Because I was, like, so that's, like, 4 different times I quit Undertale Yellow because I was just, like, fucking done. But obviously, the Marlette one wasn't really caught on video. But I remember after a while again, I just said, you know what? Screw Undertale Yellow, like, again, for, like, the goddamn second time in a row in these videos where I just went, okay, you know what? I'm done with Undertale Yellow again, right? So for quite a while, playing Undertale Yellow all over again. I even did some Roblox fan games and pass and everything, and I wasn't even thinking about coming back. But then a part of me over 7 days ago just said, you know what? I'm feeling determined. I found the Undertale Yellow port I started out with 4 months ago that has an easy mode, that has auto rhythm, that allows me to get through that bird bit all over again, but makes it a lot easier for me to get through. And on top of that, having easy mode in Undertale Yellow actually did make the experience a little bit more enjoyable for me. But anyways, so after a while, we beat that damn bird. We made tons of progress in Undertale Yellow, going through the game as usual, knocking all that stuff out, having a good time, fighting the Feisty Five, which their fight was good too, but also fighting Starlo was also really cool too. I enjoyed Starlo's fight with his unique mechanic with using his lasso, tying your heart up, and all that other sort of stuff too. I loved it. I loved it too. And then also, like, figuring out, like, the true reason, like, later on, like, with Sarah Boda, wondering, like, what the hell is going on, you know, in terms of, like, like, why are we going to the Steamworks? Why are we doing this to save Kanako and all that other sort of stuff? I'm not going to talk about the story too much, but I'm going to tell you guys this. The story was quite interesting for what Undertale Yellow set out to do. But anyway, so after a while, you know, I think I took like a couple-day break after that 2-hour stream, which was like part 5 of my Undertale Yellow playthrough. And then I came back for 6 a couple days later, and, you know, we kind of, like, continued more of the game. We kind of played a lot more of it. Like, I got through a lot more shit, which I was surprised, because I was like, damn, with this, all I needed this whole time was, like, easy mode, to play a fuck ton of fan games, come back to this one, see what I can do, you know, type energy. That's how it felt. That's honestly how it felt. Right? And, again, going through Undertale Yellow, I gotta go through the ads and stuff. I remember dealing with, like, being with Sarah Boda throughout all of the Steamworks, or BT Dubs. The Steamworks section was something else, and I gotta talk about it in this review, because I kind of felt like it was a little bullshit going through the Steamworks. So, we're gonna spend some time talking about this for a little bit. So, going through the Steamworks, like, most of your common enemies, they weren't bad. I just want to say, like, the boss fight was kind of, like, the boss fights in the Steamworks were kind of bad. Like, obviously, avoiding access, running away from his fuck ass was something. But then you also have, like, the gardener robot. I remember I was struggling on the gardener robot for quite a little bit. I think he was, like, the gardener robot or something. But this little robot, dude, let me give y'all a look-see. This guy, I was struggling on him for quite a bit. Because this fight makes you, what is it? Like, try to, like, unravel, because he basically put all your commands in vines, and it's up to you to, basically, and keep in mind, I was going through this with no items, Again, no armor upgrades, just steel buckle all the fucking way. And no fighting, because I was doing a real true pacifist run where I didn't hurt a single enemy. Um, but what is it? Even, yeah, you have to, like, get all these unvined and all that other sort of stuff. I won't bore you with it too much, but it was a problem, and I died quite a bit of times, and took, I think, like, over, like, 20, 30 minutes to kind of do him, mainly because I just barely had any items. I was working with what I had, and all that other sort of shit. Anyways, so one thing I think that really did bother me in my Undertale Yellow playthrough when I started playing Alp again, other than, you know, oh god, okay, where do I talk about stupid shit? Alright, so I want to bring up this little bit because I felt like it bothered me way more than average, right? I do not like, in my video games, still to this day, anything that involves keypads. Okay? So I have a big history of not enjoying, like, putting in passwords in video games, right? And obviously this can date as far back as time itself, or as my time would say, like in my very early days when I started gaming. But I think as of recently, like, my hatred for putting in randomly generated codes really started with, like, Anton Blast, which was like a year or two ago, right? And Undertale Yellow, right? I was stuck on keypad sections in Undertale Yellow, and I was like, okay, let me go ahead, and I need help, right? I need help to get past this bit. So I want to look up a playthrough to help me get through these keypad sections, or these just sections that involve, like, putting numbers into a keypad in order to progress through the elevators. The Steamworks had quite a few of these sections, right? And I was thinking, okay, it's not going to be super bad, right? Like, we just got to find something in the room or something, or we just got to figure something out, because I have no fucking idea, right? So I got stuck on one of these keypads, or multiple times I got stuck on a keypad, and I didn't realize this, but every single playthrough that you do of Undertale Yellow, all the keypad sections in the Steamworks are not going to be exactly the same. So, meaning, every single time you get to that point in the Steamworks, all the numbers on your keypads and everything are completely auto-generated. They're completely different. They're not exactly the same. And this pisses me off, because I was looking at a playthrough trying to figure out the keypad quickly so I can just kind of move on quicker, because sometimes I take a little bit longer than other people to get out of certain sections. And because of this auto-generated bullshit in the Steamworks with the keypads, it was taking me quite a while just to even get out of a couple of them, because of that one fact alone, that, like, every single time you replay or just play the game in general or get to this point, and I know it was my first time, so I didn't have to really deal with replaying this game over and over again, reaching this point and putting in those keypads and shit, but it's still bullshit nonetheless, that every single time you put in, like, you try to put in digits in the keypad, the numbers are random each time you do it. They're not the exact same. And I remember getting stuck as well in Chujin's little office, where he had also office buddies, or in that shit. They're not there now, but you get it. I was stuck in this little cubicle room with 4 computers in it for longer than 30 fucking minutes, because I did not know where the randomly generated code was. And what was fucking with me in this room, which I'm going to show you guys after this ad, was basically there was sticky notes all over some of the computers. There was other shit on the computers, like something on the screen, or something when you walk up to them and see their text. I remember being in that room for longer than 30 minutes because I thought, okay, the randomly generated code has to be like what I'm looking at in terms of the PCs, right? Right? Or maybe like Sarah Bodo, when looking through her husband Chujin's like notes and shit, maybe like the numbers and digits of the dates of when whatever the fuck was the password, because that's what I was thinking too. Nope, all you need to do is go into the manager's office, or that bigger office compared to all the other desk cubbies offices. Look on a fucking wall and see the code right there. I remember when I saw that code on that wall, and I also appreciate Void being there to help me out. Shout outs to Void. I was so fucking pissed at that fact alone, that the code was just on the fucking wall for all to see, right? And it wasn't like I could see it like on the wall, like all the numbers, go back to the key panel, put one of them in at a time. You have to walk up to the board and read a random little note that I felt like that was going to be insignificant, that was just going to say, have a good fucking time or some stupid shit working here or whatever, turned out to be where the code was. And a part of me was like, it was fucking stupid that I spent 30 minutes there because I have shit on my wall that I look at. Like, I have pinned on my wall too, kind of like a desk office and shit. So it's like, it's just weird that I did not think about that immediately, right? So, and I know people are probably going to say, well, that's a you problem, not the game problem. But I'm still going to say, yeah, fuck you. It should not have been that hard to fucking figure out a fucking keypad in the goddamn mini room anyway. So, also, one thing that kind of got me at the end of my part, because we passed up the fifth, I just want to talk about Access's boss fight for a little bit. I love and I dislike Access's boss fight. Music is great, but a lot of the moves I either really liked or really disliked. There wasn't a move that I felt like in the middle about when it came to Access's Pacifist fight. And I know in his genocide route fight or whatever, it might be way harder or something like that, or he may even be the final boss. I have no idea because I've never played that route. I'm only talking about like true pacifist route and all that other sort of shit or whatever. Actually, I think it's Sarabota that's your final boss in the genocide. But anyways, so basically, this fight really pissed me off with all the different things it was throwing at me, but at the same time, I also thought it was cool, but I also like didn't like it all at the same time. It was kind of like a weird mix. But also, funny thing about this fight is I remember Void was telling me, bro, this fight takes as long as Sans Undertale. You gotta lock the fuck in. And I remember when Void said that to me, I was like, lock the fuck in against this little robot dude, and this little robot dude's gonna be as bad as Sans? Brother, I don't think anything is gonna be as bad as my first time going up against Sans, which took me like over 10 hours to beat, right? So basically what ended up happening was I just decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna lock the fuck in. I'm gonna lock in and I'm gonna beat this guy. And I remember after a couple of deaths and shit, I just stayed silent for a while and said, you know what, let's grind it up, let's get it up, let's get it out of here, fuck this guy. And eventually I beat him. Obviously it took a while, but I beat him. And I was so happy about beating him, like, I low-key had to lock in. I don't think I had to lock in as hard as anything just to kind of beat somebody in Undertale Yellow, because, keep in mind, every boss fight in Undertale Yellow, I didn't really necessarily have to, like, fucking lock in, okay? Like, a lot of the boss fights, I just, like, was just playing around and trying my best, but, like, not, like, necessarily locking in, if you know what I mean. Locking in, for me, is different. Trying my best versus locking the fuck in is different, all right? It's different. Anyways, so after beating Access, I decided to be done with, like, Undertale Yellow for, like, a little bit. Oh, my God. Sonic Force is that again. Look at that stupid shit. I keep getting that ad all the time. It's annoying. But anyways, so basically, the last part of my Undertale Yellow video was basically just Sarabota, and I'm just going to kind of skip about it. Yo, I just want to say this. Sarabota doing what she did to her kid, right? Because Chujin, his goal was to try to get out of the underground. Obviously, that's a lot of people's goal, but Chujin's goal was to really get out of the underground, and he didn't want his daughter being involved in his experiments whatsoever, no matter what. Just find some other boss monster to use this experiment on, right? And Sarabota was kind of an idiot for doing this to her own fucking daughter a little bit, like, because I mean, I know her daughter insisted on wanting to help, like, her dad's dream. They were both insistent on helping their, Kaneko was insistent on helping her father's dream. Sarabota was also insistent / trying to fulfill her husband's last dying wish. And it is kind of crazy what she did. I do not agree with it at all. I definitely would have just lived a life with her and just called it at that. That's what I would have fucking done. But it's a little complicated. I'm not in this situation myself, but I remember I was so fucking into wanting to get done with this game that I locked the fuck in again. And I remember, like, Sarabota saying, no, I need Clover. I need Clover's heart. I need a boss monster. So not only Kanako could be good, but so we can get the fuck out the underground, so I can be free, and all that other stupid shit that she was going on about it. And I remember as we got into her fight, oh fucking god, at 55 minutes, I remember struggling so fucking hard because I was like just trying to spare. I wasn't trying to damage her or hurt her. I just wanted to do like a real true pacifist run. Now, right? Keep in mind, right? I was playing this game for like already like 55 minutes, right? And obviously I was like screaming. I was struggling because keep in mind, I never fought her a day in my life. I've seen videos, but I've never actually sat there and experienced Sarabota for my life. And also, I want to point this out. I want to, before I kind of continue, I did not see this in the stream, but somebody gave me 715 jewels / rubies in my final Undertale Yellow stream. I have no idea who did it or who did it / also, kind of super. And by the way, that 715 jewels / rubies was like $7 and something cents after YouTube kind of took, a split of that or whatever. I just want to thank you, whoever it was that donated that or gave me that through rupees during this stream. I had no idea. I know you probably wish to not be known, but I just want to thank you for doing that. I very much appreciate it because I looked through my YouTube analytics last night and all I see is that I went from whatever to my next payment to this amount, and I found out that someone gave me something on that stream. I was happy about it, but I was also semi upset because I wish to know who you are whenever people give me jewels, just so like I can thank you properly and stuff. But for even like wanting to do that, but I also appreciate, I also just don't want to be known for that. They just want to do it. They want to support their, their people or something. Their, their creator just a little bit. But anyways, thank you. I just want to take some time to say that in my review because I didn't get that chance about 2 days ago when I actually was doing the final hit for Undertale Yellow. Anyways, let's go back to what we're talking about here. So, Sarabota Phase 1 kind of bodied me, kind of scared me a lot. But what really got me was Phase 2 Sarabota. And also, ironically enough, I think it was kind of annoying. But like later after Phase 2 going into Phase 3 and shit, or nearing the end of the fight or whatever, I'll just talk about when we get there. But I remember seeing this, and I was like, oh no. I think I was done with the game.
Reset something. I don't want to fight. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, keep in mind, I was already pressured by this point by Sarabota's like first phase and just trying to beat that. That like seeing this.
What the fuck?
Yeah, just seeing this made me go, what the fuck is this? Now I gotta deal with a whole nother phase, which keep in mind, right? Sarabota Phase 2 was no fucking joke. I was dying here so many times. And this honestly kind of reminded me of like Azrael. I don't know why it just kind of did remind me of Azrael. Like Azrael Dreamer when he became the god of hyperdeath, right? Like when he was in that transformation, right? It kind of reminded me of that. Like with how many phases I had to deal with, how many moves Sarabota was throwing out at me that I had to adapt to, which kind of reminded me of Asgore and Toriel's with the flame and shit all the time. I don't know what she became. She became some sort of like flame demon god thing. Also had some Metaton shit in here. But yeah, I remember flipping out about this and dying so many fucking times because I was just getting so pissed. And I remember at a point I was so fucking just done. Like with her fight. I thought like after Phase 2 was done, are you satisfied? Do you enjoy making me suffer? I remember I was saying, bro, I don't give a fuck. Just go down. Because keep in mind, right? I'm not type that, if I get like remotely feeling that way and stuff like that, because usually I wouldn't let it like okay, let me explain this a lot better, because back then I would say like stressed, I would say stressed, like, oh, I'm feeling stressed out, I'm gonna get stressed out, and then like my brain would believe that, and then I would start to feel it, right? And that would like kind of like ruin a lot of things I used to do back in the day. But now that I don't really do that anymore, I was kind of feeling it. like kind of feeling like I'm just done because like of how much I already kind of freaked out at her like before shit, like phase 1 and phase 2. And I was just like, dude, like, come on, man, end it, man. I don't want this to be like almost as long as Azrael. I mean, Azrael was way longer, let's be real. But like, this doesn't need to be like this long, okay? Like, I'm tired. I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. Please, I'm tired. Please, please, please. I don't want to do this no more. All right, I'm good. You can go crazy, okay? Look, I'm sorry for like what happened to you in your life, Sarah Boda, but goddamn, please just go down because I have been dying left and right on phase 1 and phase 2, like left and right. I've been just dying like all over the place. Please just end and we can go on, right? So after she was like, "I'm super serious," and then this happened, right? Let me show you a little bit.
I'm done.
Yeah, see.
This is how it must be.
Yeah, I was so done. I was like, God damn it, dude. I gotta go through another fucking thing. And yes, I put on auto fire because I was kind of tired of like pressing one of the buttons to like fucking fire manually. And I was just like, dude, just auto fire. Make it easier for me, dude. But yeah, after a long while of her doing her thing, we actually ended. We actually beat her, which I felt so fucking happy about that I was like, oh, thank the fuck God, you're done. I think I even said that through the stream. I was like so happy, right? Because I was like, you'll see. Because also in the middle of this, I had to move because I had to charge my tablet, right? I had to put it on the charger because my tablet around this time was at like 40%. I think, and I did not want my tablet to die during her fight because if it did, I would have to redo all phases. I would have to redo like everything, and I'm not down to redo everything, especially since my last save was an eon ago, right? So I got done with Sarah Bo's fight. I was so happy that she was done. Like, look at me. I was just like, oh, thank the fuck God, a little bit. And I remember, like, you know, they all had their talk a little bit about what they want to do with the soul and whatnot. I was reading a little bit. One thing that kind of pissed me off a lot during this, like during the last cutscene and stuff, none of this, none of the actual cutscene stuff. This stuff is all fucking goated, right? I love this. But it was my fucking the leaf blower guys that I have outside my apartment during this time. They were pissing me off because they came in like while I was reading all this shit, trying to like get through the end without it being super interrupted, and they just came in all over my fucking shit, right? So while I was reading this dialogue, trying to close the game, trying to have a fucking epic finale with me reading the shit, getting myself immersed. You have the fucking lawnmower dudes being fucking annoying, and I'm gonna show you the bit where I think they came in. I'm not sure exactly where they came in, but I remember they came in during this stream, and I was so pissed. And also on top of that, during the Sarah Boda fight too, I just want to say this: my stream just kept crashing like over and over and over and over and over and over again, and I was just so fucking pissed at like just so pissed at that like stream crashing. I think that's another reason why I just wanted that Sarah Boda shit to end, because keep in mind, right, sometimes when you're off an application for too long, it will just automatically bring you back to like the title screen of Undertale Yellow, and I was really praying every single time my gameplay stream like crashed because of like all the crazy animation that Sarah Boda is doing with her attacks and her moves and all that other sort of stuff. I just kept praying that like my game would just stay resumed where my last point was and not like reset to like the title screen or some stupid dumbass shit. And thank God it didn't. But I remember watching the ending for the first time and just being so happy, you know, just finally finishing Undertale Yellow, beating Sarah, talking about my true thoughts, watching all the credits. Just damn, what a magnificent game. And then I even watched like the true where they had like a little bit of dialogue at the end, like the Marlette and everybody. Bro beat the best game of all time. Here, let me show you right here real quick. Let me pull it up for you real quick. So like after a little bit of the credits, you know, I get a little bit shocked / surprised up there, top right or top left. Oh, is it not paused or some shit? Oh yeah, it black screened on me for a little bit.
Playtesters? Shout out to all the playtesters, man. Oh, Mark, I've been thinking about that day a lot. Time is a funny thing, you know. I guess in the big picture of my life, you were only a blip. Damn! But oftentimes those blips make the biggest impact.
Facts.
The king offered me a promotion, a guard position, a guard post in New Home. But after experiencing the worst the job had to offer, I declined. Not only that, I put in my 2 weeks.
Which, and also, shoutouts to the Undertale, and I gotta say this, I'm sorry for interrupting this cussing, but I gotta say it. Shoutouts to the Undertale Yellow team for doing everything in their power to make sure this game does not contradict Undertale, like regular Undertale, in any way, shape, or form. I love this game for that. Because if you think, and this is just like a headcanon thing, if you think like Undertale Yellow is canon, right, into Undertale, like it goes Undertale Yellow, like the pacifist route of Undertale Yellow obviously is like the beginning, right? And then you go into regular Undertale, it's like, okay, now I understand why I don't see Marlette. She quit being a fucking, she quit being a goddamn, she quit being a fucking royal guard and also like put in her 2 weeks. That makes sense. Why? And she wants to go live her life somewhere else, doing something else because she feels like, whatever she experienced here with Clover, I don't need to do that. There's an ungodly amount of effort put in this game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Undertale Yellow is so good for that, and I love it. And then also, it makes sense why we don't see Sarah Boda again, because she's trying to live a new life with Starlo, and Starlo's also just trying to go back to his older ways, where he's a farmer, but he also brought the Feisty Five with him. That's why we don't see, like, any of these characters in regular Undertale. You know, like, they all lived and moved on with their lives. Not really necessarily worrying about, like, you know what? You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it just makes sense. And then, like, you know, Asgore doesn't really bring him up because I guess he just forgets about him or some shit. But it's whatever, you know? And it just, I just love how it just, you can make it fit if you want it to make it fit. You can make Undertale Yellow's pacifist route, like, or true pacifist route, like, fit. It's so fucking good. It's so good. Anyways, sorry. I just needed to say that, need to get that off my chest for a little bit. Anyways.
I felt that there are much better causes to pour myself into.
Facts.
Anyways, sorry that I'm putting you on one of my raps again. Might not be the most appropriate send-off after that last ride, but it's the best tribute I could think of.
Sorry for my blurry screen. My tablet's not like the peakest in terms of quality, okay?
It's nice. It is. Thanks for doing this. Felt good to craft something with meaning again. You got your gift? Yeah, here you go. It's the revolver, isn't it? Oh, I almost forgot. There's someone I invited who was a friend of Clover's. A friend? Hello? Is this the right place? Oh, Marceline brother looking ass. Oh, hello. Howdy. Sorry if I'm intruding.
His name was Malv, or Dov. Damn it!
Delby. And
Delby, damn it.
I was living in the ruins when Clover first entered the underground. So you were the first to meet him. One of the first, I suppose. Anyways, when we met, I acted foolish and attacked Clover. I think we all did at one point. I promised it didn't last long, though. And I held back a little. Where was I going with this? Clover helped you out of your situation. Yes. All in all, Clover was very kind to me. checks out. It's nice to meet you, David. Thanks for coming. Of course. Well, no more stalling. Everyone ready? I believe so. Oh, wait a second. I want to place one more thing. Safety glasses? I want Clover to stay safe on their journey. Can't forget them, right? No, you can't.
Honestly, I felt so satisfied with the Pacifist ending that I got here.
There you go. Goodbye, friend.
That
Thanks for all you've done. See you around, kid.
That I'm not sure if I necessarily want to go do the other ones. Like, honest to God.
Clover's body, is it still just sitting there at that area in...
Oh, yeah, I talked about this. So, I remember, I'm going to sum up what I said there. So, what I said there, right, was, wait a minute, so is Clover's body just going to sit there for, like, all of time, just sitting right there, right? Like, sitting at that little stable. Like, I know that's where he died, and no one wants to kind of look back at a dead Clover body, but no one's going to, like, kind of pick his shit up and kind of bury him in the underground. You know, like, give him a proper... I mean, I get it. This was the proper send-off that they gave him, but I was, like, wondering, like, is his body just really going to sit there in, you know, like at that rooftop area that Sarabota and I fought him at? Or yeah, we fought Sarabota at. Like, he's just going to die right up, leaned up against that wall. Like, just... Or, like, his body's just going to decay right there. I don't know, just a part of me just kind of felt like, you know, I mean, I get the send-off with the hat and stuff and putting it on the raft and shit, but I also kind of feel like they could have, like, at least buried the body, you know, buried Clover, you know, done the burial stuff, like, proper a little bit, but I get it. I get it all at the same time. Anyways, I don't know if you're given the neutral route a shot, but I would highly recommend it. The route becomes completely different once... passes once you start the Steamworks. That is certainly understandable. The only reason I recommend it so highly is that it connects extremely well with the Pacifist ending while exploring why Flowey acts the way he does in the game. Oh, shit. So, that would definitely be a good route. I don't know. Let's see. Gotta go. See you next stream. All right, thank you, Lord Drycom, for staying as long as you did, bro. I appreciate you. But, let's get back to the ending here. And then I'll say, like, obviously my final thoughts and stuff. Which I do say in this video, but still.
Because it's just going to sit there and decay, isn't it? Oh, man.
Who knows? Maybe I will come back.
Man, I'm not going to lie. Clover really was kind of the G, man.
Not kinda. He was the G, man.
That's all that man wanted. You know, was to find the other 5 kids.
That's what I loved about Clover, too. Like, that's all he wanted. All he wanted was to figure out the mystery of why all the kids that go to Mount Ebit all disappear. He didn't want to go there because of curiosity or something like that. He just wanted to find out what happened to his... Well, not his, but he just wanted to find out what happened to the other kids. You know? And... for someone at that age, which I think Clover was like the same age as, Frisk in the beginning? Like, I gotta keep this in mind, bro. He had a lot of balls for being like a 7-8-year-old going down into a fucking mountain like Mount Ebit and just saying, where are all these kids at, bro? I'm about to free them or save them in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's just fucking one of them, I'm about to try my best. You know? But then, I think, because I remember they talked about it earlier in the game that, you know, Clover kind of figured it out early on that they all kind of died in there. They all died due to Asgore and shit and whatnot. And, wow, I just gotta say, bro, okay, after we're done with this a little bit, I know it's just the playtesters and shit and more of the credits, but
Like, he just wanted to figure out, like, what happened to the other kids before him that fell down there.
By the way, y'all can check out the live stream right here. It's a day ago, so you don't have to scroll that far. But if you want to check out my Undertale fan games playlist, which, you know what, I'll just, like, do the ending and stuff, and we'll just talk. Oh, yo, thank you for subscribing, whoever that was. Now I'm at 4,790 subscribers. One day we'll reach 4,800, right? But, by the way, BT Dubs, I'm just going to promote this playlist. My Undertale and Deltarune fan game / ROM hacks little playlist. I provide links to every game I played in the description of each video. So that way, if you guys want to play whatever game, and by the way, these are all like mobile PC ports. They're also like web browser games. So check them all out, man. Check them all out. If you want like some Undertale fun, maybe some fan fights you haven't done yet or something, you can check that playlist out. But I just want to say, because I think I was so like satisfied with, again, the pacifist route, that I almost don't even want to do genocide, or I almost don't want to do neutral, mainly because of the fact that I don't want to, like, I felt so complete. Like, it took me, keep in mind, again, it took me 4 months from the first time I played this game to all the way to now, just to, like, finish Pacifist, right? And obviously, I know it's going to take a lot less time because I have experience in Undertale Yellow now, like a lot more experience in Undertale Yellow, so I know what's up, like, if I ever want to go back to playing the game. But I feel so complete by just doing that one route that it just feels like if I go back and do genocide and murk everybody, or if I do neutral, it's just going to make me feel like shit. Because I remember when I played Genocide route of Undertale, it was due to the curiosity of what happened / wanting to fight the funny Bone Man. At least this is to my knowledge. I don't know if you fight Sans in the Genocide route of Undertale Yellow or anything, or if you fight him in the neutral path, but it's kind of weird that you don't see him. And this was something I was going to comment on. I am happy that the Skeleton Brothers didn't show up, but a part of me wanted the Skeleton Brothers to show up in this game, just so we could have Papyrus and Sans, because they're, like, obviously my favorite. But then again, I do understand why Sans and Papyrus were not in this game, because there's already way too many fan games where they're, like, the main fucking focus already. So it's really cool that Undertale Yellow says, I'm going to take these guys out, and I'm going to replace them with characters that make this game feel, it's, you know, unique, original, and all that other sort of stuff. Which, I forgot to mention the characters in this goddamn review. I love the characters in this game. I love Malv. Even though I felt like Malv, like, or Davi, out of, like, all of them, I felt like he was easily the most forgettable. Because, and let me tell you why I feel like Davi is, like, the most forgettable character in Undertale Yellow. We only see him in the ruins multiple times with his hood up, right? And then after that point, we fight him, we go to his house, and then we never see that motherfucker again throughout the entirety of the game. That's why I say Davi, out of every character in Undertale Yellow, is easily the most forgettable. Without a doubt, he is the most forgettable, like, out of the new characters that we were introduced to, right? I remember the Feisty Five a lot more than Davi. But anyways, that's something about Davi I just had a problem with. I just did not, I mean, I like him, but out of all, like, the new characters that they introduced, I felt like he was, like, the most forgettable. Sarah Boda and Starlo, I felt like were some of the best that this game had to offer, other than, like, Marlette. Marlette was easily, like, one of my absolute favorites. And honestly, because I remember someone pointed out to me that Marlette just feels like a combination of, like, Sans and Papyrus, like, in one character, right? And I'm like, I can kind of see that with how Marlette acts sometimes and shit, especially if you do the genocide route. I've been seeing the genocide route. Like, Marlette in the genocide route is fucking crazy. But, other than that, but, like, Marlette, I can definitely see her being kind of like a fusion of Sans Papyrus a little bit, you know, in the game, because of how she is. But she's really cool because I kind of love her. Like, she's so adorable. She's like a goofy idiot that just kind of hangs around you and, you know, tries to do her job, but, you know, Davi's character is a victim of how he was created. he was made all the way back in 2016 for the demo when the game wasn't fully planned out yet. So he wasn't set up to be weaved into the story. Ah, I got you. So no wonder why he was pretty forgettable. I got you. That makes sense, actually. The Thai Jews, thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate that. But back to Marlette, I was just like, I just love her. She's so goofy. She's an idiot. She's like that lovable, goofy idiot that I just want to like hug. And she's so wholesome too, and I just like hug. I love Marlette. Even though a lot of people say Marlette just kind of reminds me of like Mordecai's long lost sister from regular show, and I'm like, God damn it, stop being so on par with these comparisons. All right, we already did Dave's character, and fuck it, like I'm just saying this, right? David just reminds you of like a male Marceline, okay? That's what people were saying about him, and then now people are saying that about her, and it's like, God fucking damn it, dude. Personally, I love that most Undertale characters are basically cameos in Undertale Yellow. The focus is way more on the story that they were trying to tell rather than just farm fan engagement. Hey, that's fair as well. I completely understand that. I would love to just focus on the story as well, but I feel like the characters, like in Undertale, is what made like Undertale's story like super like important, super memorable. It's like the interactions throughout the story of regular Undertale is what made it memorable. And also as well, you can also argue like Sarah Boda, and I think the creator of Undertale Yellow realized this when they went with Sarah Boda and they went with like Starlo and shit in the Feisty Five, because as you can see how they were like way more in the game of Undertale Yellow compared to Davi. Same with Marlette. Marlette was also in the game for a fuck ton of it. And I gotta say, Starlo, I think he's also another one of my favorites. I love how he's like this guy that has like this vision of being a cowboy, but he kind of took that shit way too far. And I kind of just felt like, hey, a cowboy that is taking shit too far and is like living a lie basically is kind of a cool way to write a character, because I don't see that like all the time whenever I play Undertale fan games or just other stuff like that. I don't see that a lot, so it's just like, what the fuck? And I love how Starlo later on comes to that realization that and by the way, I love his name being Starlo, because every single time I think of Starlo, like before I played Undertale Yellow, I would think of Starlo from like the M&L series, from like M&L, aka Mario and Luigi series, for anyone that doesn't know. But yes, I played the fuck out of that because big Mario fan here. Don't have an Undertale shirt. Kind of wish I did, just so I can wear it in this video, but I don't have that. Anyways, as I was saying, let's go to Sarah Boda. Sarah Boda and like Chu Jin, like them as characters, I like how deep, like obviously Starlo, Margaret, they're all deep too, but I really like how deep Sarah Boda was. I love how she was so dedicated to her husband's goal that, and I kind of hate her. I love it, but I also hate her for it, that she was so dedicated and so lost after losing Chu Jin that she was doing a lot of wild fuck shit, like, not only to Kanako, like, in terms of like putting that soul extract in her and trying to make sure that it works, trying to make sure that her husband's like goal works and shit, even though he clearly stated that he didn't want her involved with the project, even though I'm not going to be here long and all that other sort of dumbass shit, and it's a whole thing. But I still love how complex and how fucked up like Sarah Boda is throughout the story. Like, she makes you believe that she's pretty decent like in the beginning, but then throughout most of the game she kind of plays you. She kind of plays you into like thinking that like she's like a really good person. Wow, insane to have someone have a correct take on Pacifist Sarah Boda. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, everything she did was absolutely valid or something, or like she should die in a pit. I mean, again, like, I understand, like, where she's coming from after everything. She was fucking lost. She wasn't in the right mind. She was clearly not thinking straight. And obviously, she loved her daughter to death. But it's just that, like, I definitely do not agree with a lot of the things that she did and how she went about them. Because I'm not going to lie. If I was Sarah Boda and my husband died, aka Chu Jin in this case, right? And I figure out everything that he wants to do, I would try to like continue his mission, continue his legacy like she did in the game, but I would not go to the extent of using Kanako as like putting that extraction or that whatever shit inside of her and shit and whatnot, and trying to continue the work that way, because Kanako technically counted as a boss monster. I would not have done that, not in the slightest. You know what I would have done? I would have just lived with Kanako in my house, even though there's no daddy no more. I would take care of her as best I fucking could, you know, best I could, and live a good life like that, right? And I know she's gonna be like, I miss daddy and shit, but I would like calm her. I would be with her basically for the rest of my goddamn time in the goddamn underground, and whatever she wanted to do, I would do with her, because that's what a good mom would fucking do. Anyways, exactly. She's a complex character, but hey, Nico, welcome back, man. I haven't seen you in a while. Missed you, man. No, I've never opened up Pokemon cards. Anyways, exactly. She's a complex character, but people very commonly do not understand her. You, however, can see the character with a bit more complexity than the average player. I don't know how people can't see that. It was literally written right in front of you what the fuck's going on with her and how she is as a person, building up throughout all of the Pacifist route, man. And keep in mind, I had no idea, because I went into, like, keep in mind, I quit, like, Undertale Yellow for the first time, like, in the mines. And then I quit again a little bit further into that. So I never got to meet Sarah Boda. So I didn't have, like, a prefixed mindset on Sarah Boda as a character, like, in my first playthrough. But when I came back a couple of times, then saw her. I don't know. I play a lot of Undertale. So, like, I can kind of understand, like, a lot of characters doing fucked up shit. I mean, look at Alphys, Dr. Alphys from regular Undertale. Dude, she did some serious fucked up shit. But I can see that she was also trying her best to, like, fix her mistakes, try to find ways to bring back, everybody. I don't know what to tell you. People sometimes don't read the text right in front of them. I really don't get that. You gotta read, you gotta understand, you gotta put your brain, you gotta get your brain to work and shit. But I'm not gonna, like, diss people who don't like Sarah Boda, because I can completely understand, like, why people don't like Sarah Boda after what she did in the pacifist route. I have no idea what she does in the genocide route, but like, literally no idea what she does in there, or the neutral route. I literally have no idea. But Loki, I'm not gonna lie to you. I just felt like Sarah Boda, out of all the characters, was easily the best one. Like, and I know it's kind of unfair to kind of, like, go there, but I really feel that way because of how much they put into her, at least in the pacifist route, right? Maybe that might be different when I start talking, if I ever decide to do the genocide route, which I highly doubt. But, because I know Marlette gets a lot of, and also Marlette had a lot of character in the pacifist route too. Like, I'm going to be so honest, she also had a lot of great development. But I really feel like Sarah Boda just took it to another fucking level with her complexity, man. With everything that she's done, like, it is crazy what she did. And I still spared her anyway, because I felt like Sarah Boda, right? She just needed to live, she just needed to see a new perspective. She just needed to live a different way. And that's why I also love the ending again of Undertale Yellow, because of the fact that, when I gave her mercy, when I spared her from, because she wanted to die. After her fight with us, she wanted to die. She wanted to go. She was done living. She didn't want to be in the underground no more. She wanted to be with Kanako and Chujin, right? She wanted to be up there. She was done. But I spared her because I felt like at the ending of her fight, I felt like she could change. And everybody has the ability to change, Sure, they make mistakes, but, like, everybody, no matter who you are, can change to be a better person, right? Obviously. Well, I mean, you can regardless of who you are, but a lot of people will try to say exceptions to this, exceptions to that. It's whatever, but you get my point, though. Pacifist is very Sarah Boda focused. Marlette, had my favorite characterization after playing all of Undertale Yellow. Really? So I have to play the other routes to kind of see Marlette get more focus. I got you. I mean, I get it why Pacifist was more Sarah Boa route, or Sarah Rabia. I keep saying Sarah Boa, but it's like Sarah Rabia. Fuck it, like, names, man. I can't say names, but anyways, I've been going on about this Undertale Yellow review for quite a bit, and I just kind of wanted to, like, talk about all the characters. Also, Flowey, bro. I actually, no, fuck that. I don't want to end this just yet. Flowey, bro. Flowey was a different motherfucker in this game. I want to say that because the Flowey I know in Undertale and literally every fan game known to fucking man, this man is a menace right from the jump. For some reason with Clover, like I kind of like how like instead of being because everyone already knows like Flowey is an evil motherfucker. Flowey is Azrael stripped of all emotions other than feeling soulless, being evil because he can and whatnot and yada 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 yada. Right? I don't want to go into the details of Flowey's whole fucking character, but in this game he was so different. And I remember a lot of people called him out on that for saying how different he is. There is a very important reason why, but you need to play neutral if you want to find out. Got you, right? I love how different he was, you know, in comparison to regular Undertale where he just shows you, he just tells you that he's fucked up right out the gate. Like, you can see little hints of that throughout the game by saying, Clover, you need to focus on your main goal. Clover, you need to do this. Clover, you need to do that. I'm trying to get your fucking soul so I can become an all-powerful fucking being or some stupid shit in the neutral route or something. I have no idea, but you can kind of sum that up or something, because if you guys remember the neutral route, Omega Flowey, just saying, you know, that's what he did in the neutral route. He got like 6 human souls or some stupid shit, or maybe he's trying to become OD with 5. I have no fucking idea. But just making wild assumptions out here. But Flowey was so different, because there were times where Flowey was like on your side, but then there were times where Flowey just wasn't on your side. Like there were like it was weird because Flowey was like, "Hey, buddy," like he was being way more on the nicer side to me. I know it was fake, clearly, because I know Flowey like the back of my hand. He's a douchebag, but it's just weird seeing Flowey being like, "Hey, Clover, you know, I'm trying to be nice to you. Here's a save point, my guy," and like showing up throughout, like all throughout the journey, just popping up as a save point, saying whatever's on his mind about the Feisty Five, or saying whatever he thinks about Sarah Boda and the Steamworks, especially talking that mad shit about Sarah Boda, saying, "Dude, wash this bitch, Clover, wash her. She's about to be easy money." And I'm like, you're saying that about Sarah Boda? Have you seen her true pacifist fight? That's not no easy game. Also, I've been hearing as well that Genocide Root Sarah Boda, ooh, it's a hard fight. And a lot of people say, like, it wasn't, like, properly tested in terms of doing her genocide fight. A lot of people said, like, nah, she's highway robbery. She's something else. She's a beast, which I'm afraid of, honestly, which is why I almost don't want to test my might against Genocide Root. But anyways, other than, like, Flowey and maybe a couple other characters, those people are just bad. Okay, then sorry, not sorry. Okay, because I don't know, because maybe I might say the same thing if I ever do it. I have no idea. I almost just want to just maybe stick to Pacifist, because I remember I almost don't want to go through Genocide in almost any Undertale fan game after Undying, the Undying, dude. Like, she was a fucking menace, dude. And that ever since then, and Sans, which I really would have loved. And I know they didn't want to add Sans the Skeleton, but I'm just saying this, right? I wish I got a fucking Sans fight. And I wish I got a Sans fight in just one of those fucking ranks of Undertale Yellow, even though it's like a secret boss fight thing or some stupid shit. I wish we just got it, because I love hearing... And you guys know me, man. I love Sans. I love fighting him all the goddamn time. Just look at my Undertale fan games playlist. I fucking live and breathe that band, dude, all the time. Anyways, I really appreciate you sharing your thoughts or analysis of your experience. Very refreshing to hear someone talk so deeply about the game just after just playing through it. Yeah, I try my best to, like, you know, I don't want to do the review, like, too late, like, way too late to the point where, like, I'm not going to remember anything anymore or something like that or whatever. I want to try to, like, talk about the game, like, as fucking fresh in my mind as possible. And honestly, I think I'm going to remember Undertale Yellow for as long as fucking time, because it's one of the most goated Undertale fan games I've ever experienced, from beginning, middle, and end. Who knows? Maybe I'll do TS Underswap again and maybe reboot that bitch up and try to play that again one day. I don't know when, but sometime in the future. But anyways, I just want to give, like, one more, like, shout outs to, like, Team Yellow, because you guys created a fucking masterpiece. You guys deserve to walk in the sun like as goddamn G's. And not only as goddamn G's, but I hope one day each and every single one of you that created Undertale Yellow, that worked on Undertale Yellow in some way, shape, or form, I hope all of you guys get to be like officially in the Deltarune team one day. So that way you guys can also help the Deltarune team design boss fights and all that other sort of stuff and get in on that. Or maybe just, you know, I don't know if they were a part of the 10th anniversary live stream, or maybe even be a part of the 11th, you know, Undertale 11 year whatever thing, or 20-year live stream, whenever that happens, or whatever. But I just want to say, like, seriously, Undertale Yellow team, you guys, again, I'm sorry for emphasizing this, it's just, you guys create a fucking banger. The main coder for Undertale Yellow worked on the 10th anniversary live stream. Oh, he did? Oh, shit, so he already got, like, shit in there. Fucking bad, man. God, that's why I love the Undertale community, because like people in the community can actually work with the creators, and the creators have no fucking problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I just want to end it off on one last thing, because you guys know me, and I need to end it off on this, otherwise, you know, because I know I did it before in my final part for anyone who watched that all the way through. And again, I also want to thank whoever donated me that $7 that I didn't get to see through Rubies during my final part of my Undertale Yellow, my final episode of Undertale Yellow, at least for right now. I don't know, again, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be doing the genocide or neutral routes of the game. Maybe if I get a lot of support on this video, I might consider it. You know, I might actually sit my ass back down and do more Undertale Yellow. But until then, you know, I kind of want to give a proper send-up, you know, just gonna, you know. You know. You know, it's kind of. Dude, I love this fucking. Oh god, I'm about to choose. This theme is so good, dude. Can I get a fucking Clover plush? No, seriously, can I get a Clover plush? I would love a fucking Clover plush, bro. Let me... Fucking love this shit, dude. Hey! Thank you for watching my review on Undertale Yellow. Come listen to Pete with me. I know that did not rhyme good, and I'll try my best to name this Pete. Fucking love Undertale Yellow, dude. This is... Oh, I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to freak out like that, but... Damn, yo, Undertale Yellow is so fucking good. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share the video with your friends. Thank you for watching my review. God damn, Undertale Yellow is so goddamn good. Fuck, Clover's a goddamn G. Get that man a badge, and fucking love him, man. Go play the game right now. Fuck, man. Go play the game right now. I don't care. Go play it on mobile. Go play it on your PC. Go support the game. Go support the creators. They're fucking G's. God damn, they made one of the best Undertale fan games I've ever fucking played. Beginning, middle, and end. Even though I struggled a lot on it, it's goddamn peak. It's perfection. Fucking go love that theme. Goddamn, Bigger's Terrain is the goddamn peakiest shit on the planet. Fuck, I can't. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna end this video now, but I just gotta say it. God damn, that shit's so peak, bro. Anyways, I love you guys. I'll go fucking do the other routes one day. I don't fucking know. Just, love y'all. Fuck.